The following is a ComPlexity production.
1, 2, 3, ComPlexity!
This is the press conference, streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Oh, you cannot be serious, man!
You've got questions, we've got answers. And now, your hosts, ComPlexity.
Welcome, everyone, to the press conference where you wouldn't get the answers anywhere else here in esports. My name is Zack. I'm the content manager for compLexity Gaming. Across the way from me is Jason Lake. Oh, you guys didn't know where I was going? It's going right to Jason. Is Jason Lake. How's it going, Jason?
Going well. Beautiful day out. Had a great Thanksgiving. Excited to be back. I'm actually not here again next week. Daniel and I have to go to the East Coast to meet with a prospective sponsor. So you're going to have to sub me out again.
Secrets?
No, we can't talk about it just yet. Not until ink is dry.
Hopefully soon.
Can't be throwing around free advertising for companies unless they sign on the dotted line. You know?
All right.
So, yeah, we're excited, though.
I'm very excited about that as well. And then also over here to my right is Kyle Beef Batista. How's it going, Kyle?
Good, man. Just
You're
taking a bit of a half day here to do some moving at the apartments.
Yeah.
But had to make it back in for press conference.
Yeah,
You know?
I just want to throw out there that builder beef is now a thing.
Oh
if
my
you
gosh, I
follow
know
my
it's not.
Twitter.
Yes. It's
not.
We have a picture
No.
of beef with the hard hat and
No.
his construction shirt, safety shirt in the HQ. So we got builder beef, and he's been moving all day, moving his apartment unit.
Yeah.
So now he's mover beef.
Mover Beef.
He's very active.
I have not
Yeah.
had the chance to properly meme this yet. It will be done, though.
Yeah, we need to be in that.
You guys are the worst.
And then across from me, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you so much for joining us outside of the ER, Sören. How's it going?
It's going well.
It's going well.
I'm out of the ER, so it has to be.
I'm just glad.
better.
I'm just glad you're doing well. Mm-hmm. Looks like you're feeling good.
I'm gonna have a quarantine booth.
Handsome as ever.
You would like a quarantine booth, wouldn't you?
Yes,
Yes,
I
you
would
would.
be alone.
Well, Sören, thank you so much for joining us today. Very excited. Sören, we've had you on before. Just so everyone knows, Sören is the manager of pretty much every game we
He's
have.
the assistant general manager.
Assistant general manager,
Assistant to the general.
Kyle's
assistant
right-hand.
general manager. So perfect. So as we get into some of our games, I'm excited to be able to have Sören here. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into our weekly recap of what's happened this past week here at compLexity, and then we're going to be jumping into our questions that you guys have submitted to us on Discord and Twitter and on social media. So make sure every single week, guys, use the hashtag PC. I wanted to say coLAF just because it's my favorite, but hashtag PC and submit your questions. I'm going to change it up this week with some of our bigger news. We have Dota. Kyle, so far we made the recent announcement that we have a new roster per se. We have some new people, some new faces. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so last week we did announce that we were bringing back some players from Southeast Asia. So we have Adam, who's previously been 5-ed captain as well as a coach with us in the past. He's coming back to kind of lead this team and brought some people that he's familiar with from down in Southeast Asia with Deathsama and Miracle. Miracle having a pretty large pedigree of Dota just in the past, one of the stronger carries in the region. Deathsama, somebody that's maybe a little bit less known. But Sören, I mean, you and I have been working with the Dota team a lot. What are your thoughts on how they're doing so far? What is their feedback so far?
I mean, I feel like so far it's going pretty good. Some of them are in the United States for the first time, so you have to adjust to that craziness.
Yeah.
But as a team, as a unit, I think they've done really well. Clicked immediately. There's going to be some ups and downs, obviously, but Katowice qualifier, open qualifier, not against the toughest competition, I would say, but they fared really well. I think went 4-0, 6-0.
Yeah, they won a bunch of games, and some of those games were really stompy. Like it's some of them are games that you expect, like they have to win, right?
Right.
But do you expect them to win in 13 minutes with 59 kills? Maybe not. That's like just some natural synergy, natural aggression that you might not necessarily be expecting. And that was really cool to me.
Yeah, I like that game too. Everyone kind of got to play their favorite heroes, and I don't really think that we had our ironed out strategy of how to draft yet. I think it was more drafting to what the people are confident in, or comfortable with, and it worked out really well. We'll see once we have to move lanes around, how coordination works between other players, when our comfort zone picks are getting banned or whatever, or counterpicked, how we're going to look then. But so far it's been promising, and heading into the major qualifier
tomorrow. Well, once you guys see this yesterday.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, and we're pretty excited about that. And our first match is against our friends Eternal Envy and Snaking. So some people that were just part of the organization and now off doing their own thing. I mean, we're on good terms with them, so it's not like there's a grudge match or anything like that. But it's always interesting. Anytime that you play people that used to be teammates, there's a little bit of a rivalry there.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
I'm definitely the mood on that side of the office, because the content team shares an office with Dota currently, and it's just a very good vibe. Very good vibe. Lots of talking, a lot of communication going on, and everything seems very, very promising. So excited for the next major and excited for what's coming up for Dota.
Yeah, I think it's important, too, that we stress this kind of a trial roster.
Yeah.
We're not planning our flag with this 5 and be like, this is our team heading into 2019 necessarily. We hope it is.
Yeah.
We didn't bring them over just, because we didn't have high level of confidence in each of the players. But we're not ready to plant that flag just yet either.
Yep. We're really hoping that we qualify for the major and we look dominant. We're like,
that'd
all
be great.
Let's do it. But
Exactly.
there may be changes down the line, and we just want to make sure that people understand that.
Yep.
I'm really excited for this new opportunity. And speaking of new opportunities, we're going to be talking about CS, specifically them going to the Dreamhack Winter event. And we know that this is definitely a new opportunity for them to, coming off of Atlanta, to see what we can do here. Atlanta was an event that we thought we'd do a little bit better in, but circumstances didn't allow for that, and this is our chance for to be able to do it. Jason, what are we looking forward to as we head into Dreamhack Winter?
The team, if we're being honest, hasn't really been playing up to its potential lately, and I haven't been shy about that. They're well aware of that. I think, the performance in Atlanta wasn't horrible, but, as we discussed previously, it could have been better. I think we could have chosen our maps a little better and played a little better. So, this will be the last, I believe, kind of large event of the year for the guys.
We'll have one more online qualifier that we're playing before the end of the year, but
I should say larger LAN event type of showing. So, I spoke to them briefly today. They were practicing 4 maps, and they leave tomorrow. And I just said, go over and have fun and play loose and play hard and go after it. But I think we wouldn't be honest if we had super high expectations the way the team's playing right now. So we're hoping that maybe a little break around the holiday season can recalibrate some of the guys and get them back on track. Brad survived having a piece of his earbud in his ear in Atlanta. So maybe if we can keep earbuds out of ear canals, the team will play a little better. And we'll go. The groups are interesting. We've got LDLC, real strong French team.
and we just got knocked out by the other really strong French team.
Vitality. Yep.
Yeah, so.
Got Heroic. Our last encounter with them was a 2-1 win. An Existence Galaxy. I don't really know anything about them.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Existence Galaxy, Sören?
Not really.
Yeah,
Not
but
even the
it's
Europeans.
always-
if it's Swedish, you have to be concerned
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're unbelievably talented at Counter Strike, and even tier 3 Swedish teams can come over and beat American teams. Let's be real.
And not just that, it's Dreamhack Winter. It's home turf.
Yep. The fans will be going nuts for them for sure. And the other group has Ensei, who's been playing incredibly well. A reshuffled G2 lineup, which will be interesting to see.
Is that they're going to be their debut there at the event?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow.
Our friends at Optic, I say friends with quote because a couple of our Counter-Strike players have history with this particular division of Optic. They've definitely had the better part of our last encounters and Bravado. So it'll be cool. I wish I was a little more excited about the event because I wish we were playing a little better. But it's a sport, right? It's a competition. Sometimes you're on fire and you go to legend stage of the major, and then you go to another event and you're just not playing quite as well. Establishing that consistency is very challenging in any competitive activity, especially when you get to the highest levels. So, we're going to just kind of sit back and see how the team does and hope they have a safe trip with clean ear canals and maybe grab a couple W's. I really believe that this roster, when clicking, could win this event. The question remains whether or not this roster can click anymore and what it'll look like, heading into the new year. So we're going to be optimistic, cup half full, and hope that we see the team from the London Major show up over there. But we also want to be realistic with expectations and not just be rah-rah fanboys of our own team. They could play better, and we'll see what happens.
Who's going to get up for 5 a.m. matches?
I'm going to attempt. Nope. I'm going to attempt.
You're assuming Sören's still not awake because he worked all night long.
It's true.
It's the joys of managing people from all over the world.
All the time zones, yeah.
And then speaking of Dreamhack Winter, we also have Hearthstone. So Hearthstone's going to be attending the event. Do you want to give us a little preview of that and what we can look to expect from our Hearthstone squad?
Yeah. So it's the last tournament of the old system, as far as we know. Blizzard has teased a bunch of things, not announced anything yet, but it's like the last. Everyone, like 200 people show up and all play in the Swiss bracket, as far as we know, or as far as we assume, I guess. So Tyler from Vietnam is going to make the trip. KwayZee from Germany is going to make the trip, and Crane might make the trip. He's still undecided. There is the consideration for him because he needs some points for the playoff qualification, and he's either going to that event or laddering because he, the last day of the season is going to be in the middle of the Swiss round. However practical that is scheduled.
That's strange scheduling.
Yeah, it's sadly a common thing.
Esports.
Yeah.
And then we've talked about it before. Artifact is at the end of the month, correct?
Tomorrow is the
It's already the end of the month.
official release.
Yeah.
So
Already the end of the month for me.
How are we looking, Sören? Obviously, I know the answer, but just for conversation for our viewers or listeners, how are we looking at Artifact versus Hearthstone? We have deep history in Hearthstone. We've invested a lot in Hearthstone. We have some of the world's best players in Hearthstone. Obviously, people that follow our card games are going to be like, how are we viewing Artifact, and what's the play there right now?
I personally, or I was of the opinion the moment I saw the first pictures, the moment I first played it, that the two games have very little to do with each other. They're both card games, but we talked about this like last time I was on the show with the MOBA genre of having like one more casual, one more very in-depth, hard to get into. Same with Fortnite and PUBG, and those two are kind of similar. I think Hearthstone is something that appeals to a very, very large audience, as the numbers suggest. Was it 100 million just recently, or something like that?
I don't know about that. 100 million.
I think it was 100 million
users?
accounts or something.
Last I heard it was like 30. So
your numbers are off. I'm right.
All right.
And
It's a broader audience.
yeah,
is what
like
you're saying.
in Hearthstone, you can just join the stream, and in like 5 minutes, I think you have it sort of figured out. You don't know 100% the matchups, but you kind of.
Where Artifact is a little more hardcore,
Artifact with
kind of like
with
Dota
like 3
is pretty
lanes. You
hardcore.
basically play 3 games at a time. You don't know why a streamer or a player sacrifices one lane. Like it's a lot more in depth, and a lot more going on. Just because, some metas aren't defined yet. You play different game modes. It's just a bit tougher to keep track on.
Do you feel, what audience, if you had to pick one other game, is it going to be Hearthstone or is it going to be Dota? What community do you think this is going to pull from fan-wise?
I think it's going to be very hard for Gwent to keep their following with their game, because I think the two are very similar in the sense of you can kind of do the math to the extent that if you win or not on the like 3rd turn or something. I think some will switch back and forth with MTG, just because it's the same developer or the same creator behind the card design and everything. I think some people are just going to join with whoever streamer they followed before. So I think People that
influencers.
followed JJ throughout his Hearthstone, Gwent, and whatever Prismata career are going to come over too.
Yeah, influencers are going to be really important. You're going to see some of the Hearthstone players and streamers from our team starting to make the switch. We've already announced some of those. And I think that's going to be the case for the broader audience. And their fans, as they used to be watching Hearthstone every day, maybe they're watching Artifact now, they're going to start being more and more drawn to the game. Of course, some of them it might not resonate with, but that's where your development is going to occur, in my opinion. And then you have MTG as well. That's been going on. We talked about Nox having huge streaming numbers as well. We have some more announcements coming up in the card game space as well. So I don't think we're ready to announce those quite yet, but teasing it in the next week probably here.
That means you might be coming back.
Tomorrow? Okay, maybe it's Wednesday. Maybe it's already announced by the time you see this.
Yeah.
We're currently filming this Tuesday and releasing it Thursday, so keep that in mind as you follow along.
Yep. Well, Sören, I'm not done with you yet. We're going to be talking about one more. We're going to be talking about Fortnite.
You're not going to go to the hospital, are you?
No, you good?
All right.
Wow.
Inside jokes.
You guys are
friends.
savages.
We love Sören.
We're going to be talking about Fortnite, and Hogman recently qualified for the Winter Royale. I kept getting it mixed up. I kept saying Winter Skirmish, because everything else has been a skirmish up to this point.
Oh, it's not a skirmish?
The entire season, I think, is called still Winter Skirmish.
Yeah, I
this
thought it
tournament
was
is
skirmish.
called
It was being
Winter Royale. It's just this tournament. I think.
Got it. The
Whatever
qualifier is
the
called
latest
Royale.
one is,
think
right?
so.
Qualified to the next winter thing.
But he
Yeah,
did.
Winter.
I watched it a little bit. If you tell us a little bit about what's going to be different with, Winter Royale, Winter Skirmish, and what it means for Hogman to be able to qualify for it, and what we can look forward to for compLexity Fortnite.
I mean, you already hit on the biggest difference. It was a qualifier this time for not 4 days, 2 days, I think, with 4 qualifier events that lasted, I think, 10 to 11 hours.
They had a pretty hard time with
They
it,
had,
too.
yeah, and it was very tilting for some people involved. I watched a couple of streams, and they were the calmest people started tossing their keyboards around and smashing them. And Hogman was also losing his composure at some points, to the point where his headset gave out.
I mean, I don't think he broke his headset.
No, he didn't.
He just forgot to. It
forgot
wasn't
to
charged.
charge it.
It wasn't charged.
That was great.
Yeah, but that was the biggest difference, honestly.
But he made it.
That
did.
he made it after grueling 22 hours playing in 2 days. But yeah, I'm excited to see the competition. I'm pretty sure I haven't looked at the last 200, like the top 200 in North America, but I'm pretty sure some people that were always invited didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Influencers, some pro players. I think Vivid made it, but Vivid was very critical about himself on Twitter.
I was very surprised about who was in that top 200 placements. That people I've never seen before, and definitely placements where I didn't think people needed to be. I think Hogman ended up with 29 or 30 points.
Yeah, it was really interesting to me that this was played in solos, and a lot of the people that are really good at duos, there were some of them that didn't make it. I believe Cypher PK actually didn't make it.
He didn't make it.
Really big name that didn't make it. Who knows if he'll have the opportunity to play over the next few months.
How much of that do you think had to do with the challenges? I'm hearing lag spikes. I'm hearing straight up hackers and speed.
I don't know if you guys
cheaters,
saw the clips from Tifu's stream.
I legitimately don't know. I was busy with family and other things. I don't know how much some of these unfortunate aspects of the qualifier hadn't come into play, where maybe people that we expected to make it didn't make it. It's a shame, really. You have to ask this question, but that is the story of this qualifier, right? It's been a challenge.
It was definitely a challenge. Anytime that you have that many people playing on the servers or whatever, you can have issues, lag, hackers, snipers, etc. But the good news is they went with a format that enabled you to take your best score out of multiple different rounds.
Yeah.
So theoretically, if you're playing 3 different rounds, you should be able to have one that's minimally impacted by everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, definitely challenges. They need to figure out a way to make that game more consistent and a better online play.
Well, isn't that the issue overall with BR? Is just consistency.
Yes.
Like,
That's kind of what we always thought.
That's the genre.
yeah. So it's like let's make them let's just get a little more consistent.
Imagine if they only took the top 75 instead of 200.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. I was glad to see, I love seeing Hogman and Nick play together, but seeing him just tear up some pubs solo was really nice. So excited for that. Excited for him to be able to be a part of this newest iteration of competitive Fortnite. And as always, we're going to move over to the questions that everyone has submitted. So make sure every single week, guys, that you guys are submitting your questions using the hashtag CoLPC. Go ahead and ask us about our week. Watch our matches. Keep up on our Twitter, and we want to definitely ask every weekly question that you guys may have for us. The first one that I have is from kingfrederik on Twitter. Even though you guys don't have a CWL Vegas, or you guys don't have a team at CWL Vegas, will we be watching it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We love Call of Duty.
Maybe. I'm not.
Well, we don't all watch everything. But
I'm European. I did not grow up with COD.
Yeah,
It's just
so-
not in my spectrum.
I'm excited. You guys.
For those of us that are involved in the management of the COD team,
Yes.
that selection process, all that kind of stuff. Soren has like 7 other games he's managing. He doesn't really do so much COD.
Yeah.
But we'll be watching. We love COD. We've said from the very beginning that we were not closing this division. We just don't have a team right now. We're absolutely going to be looking into ways to get back in at a later date potentially.
Yep. And we really need to find out what's going on with the franchising. It seems a foregone conclusion by now that they're going to be franchising Call of Duty like Overwatch, or, at least some type of structure like Overwatch. And that's going to have a huge impact on who's in the game and what's going on. But yeah, we'll be watching.
Who wins? Optic?
I want
Probably.
studies.
They
team
have
to win.
Dashy, so
Dashy's been frying.
yeah, Dashy works really hard.
I think-
and then a
I
couple
think
of our
Optics-
guys are over at G2
Yeah.
that were on our team last year. Wish them the best of luck too. Great guys, and it'll be fun to watch an event, not stressed out about how your team's doing. You just sit back and enjoy what's going on. So
I want to see that
Yes.
study roster do well. I know he's just going, but
I hope so.
yeah,
I
we
love study. I
He's
love
awesome.
Jeremy.
I'm not going to hold my breath, but he's awesome, and I wish him the best.
Thanks for the question, King Frederick.
Speaking of Vegas this weekend, though, we actually do have a member in Vegas this weekend.
Correct.
Or is it next weekend?
It's next week.
All right, never mind.
It's not even the weekend.
My
it's
wife
the
is in
week.
Vegas this weekend. Should I tell her to stop over?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You could. Anyway, Drini will be in Vegas at some point.
It's true.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
On the
Our Madden
4th to
player.
6th.
There you
Yes.
go.
Coming up soon.
Next week.
Next week.
And look, it's KwayZee again for our next question.
We have KwayZee. How are you guys?
Shout out to KwayZee.
Hashtag fan elite points. How do you guys feel about your group? Our group they're referring to CS. Any teams you're particularly worried about?
I think if I had to pick one of the two groups, I would pick our group. NSA is really been playing strong this year, and Optic always seems to have our number. LDLC and Heroic, and these teams in our group are obviously good. But if I had to pick a group, I'm happy with the group we have. Am I worried about any particular team? In that group, Heroic can always upset people. In that group, I want to say LDLC probably. But I hate to list like one team because then a team you don't list kicks your ass and you're like, wow, I look stupid.
I'm going to list all 3.
Yeah.
I'm
We're
worried about
always
all
worried
three.
about
What a
every
brave
game, to
call.
be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy if we could pick a group, I would have picked this group.
Yeah. LDLC, the French scene has had such a historic impact in the game over the past 4 years. Scary, Heroic, good team with Freiburg, even scarier. And Existence Galaxy, like we said, home soil.
Yeah.
The crowd cheering for you cannot discount that. It is actually so important. I was talking with the Dota team today because we were talking about the new HQ, and they're like, can we pump crowd noise in? We want to put Navi chants going on, because anytime you play Navi, the entire crowd is chanting Navi. We want to pump that noise in. I'm like, we can look into that. So being able to train in that environment, because sometimes you go up against a team who has the hometown advantage, and you have to be able to deal with it.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to have to actually look at that during construction and make sure there's some soundproofing between rooms. So if we're pumping in sound into one, the other team's like, can you stop? We're trying to talk right now. Just thought of that.
Toilets and soundproofing.
I thought about it 5 months
I've been
ago.
an advocate
Yeah.
for both of those.
You already have the soundproofing?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get a Christmas bonus, beef. You're so good, man.
$5.
$5.
Firm handshake.
A firm handshake and a Starbucks gift card, brother.
There you go.
There you go.
$5.
Next question we have is Carno on Discord. If you guys had a camcorder and a time machine to do a cold POV on any event in the team's history, to give us fans some insight on that, can you give us some insight on that event, and what would it be?
Oh, we kind of did.
I love this question.
Right? Yeah, it's a good question. We kind of did with Redemption. It was the very first ever cold POV, right? We were the first team to ever really take a camera behind closed doors and show people like what team conversations look like and, you know, what going to an event look like. And I'm always going to be super proud of that. Not only because we were the first to do it, but I think we did a pretty good job considering when it was done. There's several other events in our history that would be really cool to show. Some Dota ones as well outside of Counter-Strike, like the International. And
I saw this question in Discord, and I think Oxy one was like, oh, dude, I would love to see the Shanghai Major. And so I talked a little bit about the Shanghai Major within Discord. By the way, if you're not in Discord, make sure to join our Discord, discord.gg/complexity. We're in there chatting with our fans all the time. But we actually do have some footage from the Shanghai Major. Sören, as well as Josh, were carrying around a camera for a lot of that event. A lot of photos, but some footage as well.
It's mostly photos.
I'd love to go back and just take a look at some of the videos that we have. Maybe we can make like a short 2-minute video out of it.
It's something we produced, I think, that was really underappreciated. Help me out. What event was it when Kyle was still on the team? We produced
Manila. It was,
what was the name of that?
It was ESL1 Manila. It was called The Journey.
Blank. The Journey.
Yeah.
It was a really good piece. It was a resurrection type of piece about Dota.
Fun fact. That was Paul Eagle, our videographer here. That was his first time working with us.
First time we ever worked with him. And that came out pretty well.
That was 2.5 years ago. Shout out to Paul.
That was a good piece. And then there's obviously old school. I wish we had a full crew when we won COD Champs.
That was going to be mine.
400,000.
Yeah.
I wish we had a full crew when we won in 2005 at ESWC on French soil. That was a really big thing for American Counter-Strike back then.
Yeah.
Some cool moments that we wish we could have captured. But it's a good question.
TI5, I think, would be one of mine. Super JJ winning Seed Story Cup or Trinity Series. I think those are both really cool wins.
You're all just thinking about wins. What about just having a fun event that with like nice characters? Because the moment I saw that question, I thought back to Dreamhack Summer 2015. It was Doc getting second. It was JJ's first event. It was a super loud Heroes team that kept yelling, chanting USA in their game.
See, I was working for Han at that time.
It's true.
So I wasn't doing so much complexity stuff at that event. That was more your job, so I don't remember that one much.
That was a super fun event.
Yeah.
And everyone on that Heroes of New Year's team was loud, super vocal. Yep. The huddles were insane.
And we can't forget StarCraft. We did Generations, Complexity Generations, which is really near and dear to me as well because it showed Jason Bass and my family, and the kids were there, and meeting with the players and following some of our managers behind the scenes. That did well in the StarCraft community back then. It's one to go back and watch.
Han Tour Las Vegas.
Please no.
The infamous. We do have a small piece. That was my first ever piece of content that I created for Complexity. I was there with my $100 Sony Handycam, and I thought I was just taking home movies. And then Brian Johnson, who was working with us in content at that time, was like...
Johnson or Jackson?
Johnson. Karpov.
Good Lord, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I like this stuff. This is good. We can do a full documentary. Just record everything. And I'm like, okay.
Appreciate the camera quality was still better than the stream.
Well, make sure you guys count down. I want everyone to comment below that's gotten this far. Comment down below which event you guys would like to see. That would be really, really good. I'd like to see people's responses.
Fan elites get this far. I see you out there. Had a great chat with the road to Dr. Waldo.
Yep.
Today. And each of our fan elites gets a little present from us and a call from me if you want it. And those are our hardcore folks, and special shout out to them.
They love it. I love always seeing their reaction after getting off the phone with you. I was like,
Yep. So thanks to Carno for that question.
thank you, Carno. Next one we have is King Monsta
King Monster.
from Twitter. This question is referring CS. Have you ever gone below MDL/invite to scout talent? If not, what does a player have to do to get your attention?
That may be a good question for Warden. But we're always watching different players. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say the majority of what we're looking at is probably going to be on that level, but we're always looking across different levels.
Yeah, it's one of the more effective methods of scouting talent, not necessarily talent that you're ready to pick up today, but maybe talent you're ready to pick up in 3 months, 6 months, a year.
Yep.
And just kind of keeping track of the people that are just starting to catch your eye. Even just like maybe there's a Reddit clip of some guy and you've never heard of this guy, but you write him down in your little notebook or whatever, and you're like, you start to hear that name over and over again, you start to pay a little bit more attention. But yeah, we occasionally look in the lower ranks.
Yeah. And then to get to the attention, do you have any insight on that? Other than, pretty normal stuff. It's hard.
What gets our attention?
Yeah.
I think that changes quite frequently.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends what you're looking for at that time. Sören, one of our leading scouts, I mean, what gets your attention?
If you stream, so I can actually look into you and not just get an email without a subject line from you.
That's true. Anybody that's trying to go pro needs to be streaming.
Yeah. Or have I have a friend that streams, so you are basically on stream somewhere. Like, we need to know.
I'm just saying it right now. If you have an active stream, you are 5 to 10 times more likely to be picked up as a pro than as compared to somebody that does not. Equal skill.
Yeah, for sure.
It's true.
Sure.
Then we have a second question from King Monster.
King Monster, doubling up today.
Yes. Completely off topic, but when is it appropriate to start decorating for Christmas? I think after Thanksgiving is fine, but I know people who put up a tree right after Halloween.
Didn't we have the discussion yesterday?
December 22nd.
All right, Scrooge.
So if my wife had a choice, it would be
February?
No, it'd be literally probably the day after Halloween.
Okay.
That'd be her vote. I have a rule because I can't stand it because she puts on Christmas albums and it just goes 0 to 100 real fast. I've tried to keep it after Thanksgiving, but it's a constant battle within our home. So
yeah, I'm one of those after Thanksgiving. As soon as the turkey cools off, the decorations come out. We go tree shopping that weekend. In our subdivision, it's against the homeowners' rules to even turn on your Christmas lights until after Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, good.
But a bunch of people did. So we were driving around like, they're going to get fined. They're going to get fined. They're going to get fined. Just, to prevent people from having those July Christmas lights on, right? But no, it's free country. You can do whatever you want. But I've always
Unless
been
you're in
one.
a subdivision.
Yeah.
Or HOA.
Once you buy into the HOA, you live by our rules. No, but I've always been one hold off till after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
To me, it cheapens it if you're starting.
Yeah, exactly.
September
It's not
15th,
special.
they're putting trees in the department stores now. It's like, give me a break.
Yeah.
Wait, content idea. Jason Lake runs an HOA.
There you go.
It would be we can.
They're
make it
always
good.
asking hey, will
be
people
good.
join the board? Will you take a turn on the board? I'm like, if I had time for that, I wouldn't be able to live in an HOA. It's like, I don't understand. And then they have a Facebook now.
Oh my gosh.
The Facebook thing. So you get to follow all the drama in the greater
a
subdivision.
Facebook for the
For the
subdivision?
whole subdivision. And then it's
Get me
such
out.
and such kids are driving too fast. And
We have a message
Bob
board
has
for
his
our-
Christmas lights on.
Yeah, we have a message board for our apartments. and
Oh, it's
just-
entertaining.
It's nonstop drama.
I'll come home from work exhausted, be like, all right, honey, what happened in the subdivision today? She'll be like, oh, you won't believe this one. So
That's ridiculous.
Anyway, we're on a tangent. But
I asked Sören if he was going to get a Christmas tree. And
I said
he,
no.
Why? What?
Okay, so I was
didn't the
raised-
Christmas tree tradition
he's the Grinch.
originate in Germany?
That doesn't matter.
No, I'm just wondering. Didn't it?
I don't know.
I believe
I think it was Martin Luther.
Chris.
Comment down below.
I believe
Fact check it.
that
Comment down
tradition comes from the motherland, right? Or is it fatherland? I get it all
Fatherland.
confused. The fatherland.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting a big green tree answer from our German brethren.
No.
No?
So the way it was in my family, Christmas decorations, like the little lights in the window or whatever, come out on December 1st because we don't have Thanksgiving, so we don't need to concern ourselves.
Right.
with
That makes sense. Yeah.
And in my family, the tree comes up and gets decorated December 24th.
Dang.
I know some traditions where people literally it's part of the Christmas celebration to put up the tree and decorate it. To me, it's such a pain in the ass. Like if I'm going to go out, get a tree and decorate it, like I want it to be around for a few weeks. Otherwise, it's just not worth my time.
Yeah.
But I've heard of that tradition. It's interesting.
then it goes
Is that
out.
normal, would you say, in Germany? Or do most people put up their trees earlier?
I think most people put up their tree early.
Got it. Cool.
He's got a
Talk
very
about a
interesting-
random question in a tangent, huh?
He's got an interesting Christmas tradition. They get like 20 gifts.
No,
Like
everyone
What?
gets everyone a gift. Like we're at 4 now.
Is that required?
You're required to get someone a gift,
I was just asking. Like,
No.
Within your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
and then you want to go with the dice thing, right?
I don't know what it is. You just told me that you opened a new gift every day.
You guys gamble presents?
Wow.
Right?
What? That's the Advent calendar.
Days of
So you go on the
Christmas,
first, you
won't
get a little
look into
treat.
me?
Like it's chocolate mostly. Or
Yeah, okay. He's
Oh,
got
yeah,
some
the little
Advent
calendars
That's
where you
like-
open a
that's
door
like-
every
yeah,
day and
that's
it's
like-
got a chocolate. My
isn't that
kids
a
get that
normal
every
thing?
year. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
But what's
I've
the
just never heard
dice?
of that before.
The
Beef
kids
had a
wait
sad
for it.
childhood.
Yeah.
They're waiting for December 1st to get that chocolate every day.
Yeah.
I usually end up eating the chocolate, though, which is funny to me.
I don't want some chocolate.
I eat the Advent calendar
All right,
right
anyway.
after Halloween. So we have for our final
One more
question.
Let's get back to esports. Thanks to who threw us off? Was
King
that
Monster.
That was
King,
King
Monster
Monster
again? All right, I'm watching you, King Monster. You're the off-topic champion right now.
Yeah.
You got us.
We also have
The troll trophy.
Yes, the troll trophy.
maybe we'll send it. We'll send them on Twitter. We'll tweet it at them. Nanumax on Discord. Nanumax. How do you guys find sponsors for esports organizations which aren't as big as yours? How do you pursue them to invest in you? And what is a good way to build contacts? This is a Daniel question, but I feel like you guys are pretty.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a smaller organization, the best thing to do is network until you find those contacts and then just ask for a free product. You're not going to get cash out of the door until you've built your organization into something that has reach. So get free product, over deliver like crazy, just market the hell out of their products, and then you build off of that. Even in the early days of complexity, there were many sponsors where the best we could do was free product. And then as your reach grows and you're hopefully holding up trophies and your brand is getting out there, you start to have conversations about cash. But starting a new esports organization is not easy. It's especially not easy in this new investor-fueled phase of esports history where people are coming in like, I'm going to start a team, and I've got $15 million to start it. It's challenging, and that's just the reality of where we are. But if you want to get sponsors and start going down those roads, social media makes it very easy to kind of identify who some of the decision makers are. If you do your homework, reach out to them and just ask for free product in exchange for marketing, and that's the best way to start.
LinkedIn is a godsend.
Just don't label yourself as a consultant.
If you label yourself as a consultant and I ever get a LinkedIn from you,
Esports, capital S.
no. The only consultant that I've ever accepted on LinkedIn was Rob Breslow. Because
Slasher, the original esports consultant.
yeah, the number one consultant.
Yep. But thank you very much for the question, and thanks to everyone for the question. We appreciate you watching the show. Shout out to the fan elites that are still watching, and make sure you ping us with your questions next week. Have a happy holiday season until then. Well, I won't be here for 2 weeks, so make sure you send these guys harassing questions.
We got to find some people for next week's show.
It'll be exciting.
I'm off.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back, Sören. How
This
did
was a
that go?
blast.
So, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys check us out every single Thursday.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts?
Do we have any final thoughts?
I barely have thoughts.
I was rushing.
I want my Christmas tree up before Christmas Eve. That's
There
my
you go.
final thought. But I respect tradition. I respect tradition.
Just a quick note. I thoroughly enjoyed. I had Z Freak over for Thanksgiving. One of our Dota players.
It's pretty dope.
It was pretty dope. Limp was supposed to come, but he was competing. Lots of fun. It was very nice. We had a nice little complexity Thanksgiving. Had some of the content guys over, and it was a lot of fun. That's my final thought. I just wanted to say thanks for Zack to come by.
Beef?
There was 2 different complexity Thanksgivings, and I didn't get an invite to either one. I'm sad.
You miss my in-laws, so
Yeah, well,
what are you going to do? Not that they're bad, because I don't want this video surfacing later and getting me in trouble. But I couldn't invite like a whole bunch of complexity people because I had family in town, or I would have.
I get it. Both of you. Neither one of you get.
I would have thought if you would have said yes. If I thought you would have said yes.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it.
You guys have a good one. Bye.
Okay.